Right, thanks everyone. Australian captain Pat Cummins here to answer your questions after today's victory in this second test. If you've got a question, please raise your hand and we'll get underway. Again, we're probably not going to get to everyone, so we'll get as far as we can. So, someone want to lead us off? Masha?
Pat, how satisfying has this week been, given what happened in Perth and we're talking between them to come out with a 10 victory like this?
Yeah, great week. Great to level the series. I think this week we were back to our best. That's the kind of team that I remember and how we want to play our cricket. So really satisfying.
But you seem more animated after taking wicket, more than usual anyway. Did that just come from within after everything that's been said about you, or was it just you being excited for a change?
I don't know. I was pretty pumped up. Just probably felt like some big wickets there in the context of the match. Especially, pink ball feels like the margins could be quite small. So maybe, just pretty excited, more so than normal.
That's it. It wasn't anything else. Have you reflected on that? Just the energy around the team, as you just said earlier. You played in a way that you want this team to play.
I think being one down, no doubt there's a little bit more on it, trying to level up the series, and you get a bit more pumped up for wickets. But I don't know. It's a big series. Every test match is big. Every wicket's pretty big. So I was pretty pumped out there.
How do you compare your performance from the last test to the
personally?
Yeah, with the ball.
To be honest, I don't think it was heaps different. Obviously more wickets fell my way this week. Last week, I was pretty happy with how I bowled overall. The scoreboard can look different week to week. Rhythm felt good this week. And happened to find a few more wickets.
And just a word on the bowling unit as well, Stark and Boland have great pink ball records, and no surprise they do that again. Can you just, a word on those two boys this week who really lifted?
Yeah, it was amazing. Some of the talk this week was around, do we have enough bowling? And, particularly that day one, I thought it was a Herculean effort from, Starky and Scotty. It was hot. It was, close to 40 degrees out there, humid. And, basically just kept rotating the bowlers and bowling all day. So huge effort from those guys. Showed their class. I feel very lucky as a captain to have those guys, and then having some Lino, who we didn't even need to call on. Feels like we've got lots of I've got a lot of tools at my disposal, so I feel very lucky.
You were 1-1, I think, against India each of the last couple of tours. What are the key things you need to keep doing from this point on to ensure you make it 2-1, 3-1?
I don't think it's too different to last week. You want to gather a few lessons that you learnt now that you've seen them, another week. And some of them, you might want to change a few things that didn't quite work out, and others feel like you've had a good look at some bowling plans, some batting plans, and marry that up with what your strengths are as a player. So that's all the conversations the Gabba will be, which was the same leading to here. What do we look like at our best as a team, as individuals, and go from there.
And just one on Siraj and Travis Head, were you sort of across the exchange last night, a bit of the chatter in the last 24 hours, and I guess how you see the relations between the teams?
I was out there. Look, it's heated. It's a big series. It's been packed crowds all the days. So there's a lot riding on it. I think the umpire stepped in pretty quickly, and that was the end of it.
How much of a luxury is it to have Trav in that middle order there and just doing what he does regularly?
Yeah, it's great. When he walked out, feels like every time he walks out, the game's kind of in the balance, can go one of two ways, and within the space of a session or so, he really took the game out of their hands. Just puts the pressure right back onto the opposition, hits into weird areas. If he feels like there's a small opportunity, he'll up the ante and again take the game away from the opposition. So amazing. He's done it time and time again for us in many different formats, and he's super impressive.
You able to just sit back in the change room and like that?
For sure. It's always exciting. You have to watch when Trav's batting. There's always something going on. He's all over the crease. He's flaying balls through, the offside from off stump. again, like a lot of the other players, so lucky that he's on our side because as a captain, I wouldn't know how to bowl to him, how to set field to him at the moment.
The work that Marnus and Nathan Swing have done not before, you kind of just look at that, but it's been equally important.
Absolutely. That was really gutsy what those guys did on that night of the first night. You look back to Perth, it's those small moments that if you win them, suddenly you wake up the next day and it's a different day. So I think that was a really good lesson. That was super gutsy to get through that period, and it meant that some of the other guys later on could cash in.
Yeah.
I know you touched on Siraj a minute ago, but Travis said he was surprised and disappointed at some of the conduct of the in your behaviour, Siraj. Do you agree with that assessment, or do you share that view, and whether that's kind of natural for he's going to intervene at all?
I got no idea about the second point. To be honest, they can do whatever they want. More worried about our boys, and like always, I thought our boys' behaviour was excellent like this week, like it seems to be every week, so happy with them.
Just Josh Hazelwood, he will be well for Brisbane, and if so, does that exclude that to miss out?
Potentially. Josh will have another bowl tomorrow, so he's all on track. So he'll have a bowl tomorrow and then assess from there, but it's all going to plan so far, so fairly confident he'll be right for Brisbane. We'll know more in the next couple of days. If someone needs to make way, they'll be pretty unlucky.
Pat, India won comprehensively in Perth, and now you guys did the same in Adelaide. Two competitive teams, but no closer match. Do you expect this trend to continue, or do you think that in the coming matches there will be far closer test matches?
Yeah, it can never be too sure. Can you? I think, like I said before, small little moments can really compound and make the end result kind of look bigger than it probably seems. Yet when Trav walked out to the crease yesterday, that was a turning point, and suddenly it's almost an innings victory. But wait and see. It's been a great series so far. Seems like the fans are loving it, and it's been good to be part of.
So, which was the moment from here? Was it the first innings from India's point of view? You thought that you had India in your hand, like 69 for 1 and then 82 for 1. Will that consider?
As in, like the big moment from this match, you mean? Oh, I think bowling out for 150 and then getting through that first night, that was, felt like we were well on our way to setting up a big first innings lead.
Pat, you have captained Nitish Kumar Reddy in Sunrisers Hyderabad also, and now the way he has started his test career, 3 innings and 30-40 plus run scores. Does it surprise you the way he has taken test cricket, and what are the aspects that really stands out in Nitish?
Yeah, obviously saw a fair bit of Nitish over in the IPL. He's a really good player, quite adaptable as we've seen. He's done some pretty awesome ramp shots and pull shots and drives. So he's a 360 player. Like, to be honest, most players that come through kind of in their early 20s are nowadays. So he seemed to have another pretty good game.
Any aspects that stands out in Nitish Reddy as an opposition captain or an Indian captain?
No, not really.
Over on the left here.
But just in terms of the lines that we're bowling in bowlers towards the end, is the thinking behind that, is that something that we can expect more of going forward?
Well, potentially, it felt like that was our best way to take wickets for as least amount of runs as possible.
Regarding the Siraj and Rohit Sharma said the same thing what you said. It's like it's in the moment. So what's the role of the captains in this to sort of, both of you have doused it, said what it is. But that's your thing. But if your teammate, let's say, comes next time, in 2 days' time, and he's asked, obviously he'll be asked a question. So do you tell in the dressing room to let this go? Or you just let go the teammate's answer on the, what's your, how do you put a handle on this particular field test?
Look, I think if, as a general rule, you normally let the boys be themselves. If you ever need to step in and intervene, as captain I would, but as I said, for our group, I never really felt like I've needed to do that.
No, not on the field. I mean, when they come out to the press, like both you, Rohit said the same thing that you said. Are you okay with the teammate coming to press and let's say, I didn't like what Siraj did? Or would you say, just let this go or whatever? How to handle the situation in the meeting?
I'll handle. Look, Travis Head's vice captain of the team, so he's a big boy. He can talk for himself.
2 more here. Dan, and do you have one for 3? 1, 2.
Just one about Travis in terms of There's been talk before the series about the way Test cricket is now played, and what the current ball does, what the pitch does. Like, is that making that sort of those middle order positions even more important in terms of like, once you get 20, 30 overs in and you can counter attack, knowing that there's a window to make runs when it's perhaps a bit more difficult earlier in the innings?
Yeah, maybe. I don't think it's new. You've had people like Gilchrist 20 years ago used to play that role, but you've also had opening batters like Davey Warner who's played that role. So I think everyone goes about it a little bit differently. I think one of our strengths is having Trav and Mitchie and Alex at 5, 6, 7, and I think that's something we spoke about before this season. I've wanted to try and protect, but really. Yeah, again, like anything, you always play to your strengths. At times we had openers who be aggressive, but yeah.
But just the fact that, the big break between the first and second test, you guys have gone 134 overs. The fact that you bore them out in 80 overs, like across both innings, with the short gap, like, does that, give you the confidence, just the fact that you're fresher going into the other test?
Yeah, we bought ourselves a couple of days, even bowling first, that buys you an extra day if the game went the distance. So, 2 games into the series, I feel really good. Probably better than you normally do, feeling 2 games into a series. We'll get up to Brisbane. We'll recover well. That's a priority for the next 3 or 4 days, and then be ready to go again.
Last one.
I just want to ask about that Siraj thing only, that, when Travis was going out, you were also having a word with Siraj, and he wasn't looking very, happy with that. And plus, the second part of it is that today in the broadcasters, with them, Siraj told that what Travis told here in the press conference was not at all true. How do you see that? First, obviously, what you had a conversation with Siraj, what it's all about, and then, vice captain coming to the press conference. Obviously, he can't exactly tell you that what words he said, but a little more on the truer side of the story.
Yeah, I reckon we've spoken enough about that.